Everyone, and welcome to Book Boob. Today I'm going to be doing part one of my bookshelf tour. I'm going to do this a little bit differently than you normally see. A lot of times when you see a bookshelf tour, you see like the video camera pointed directly at the bookshelf, and usually there's a lot of editing and pulling out each book and talking about each book and all that. I don't really edit my videos, so I'm going to do this honestly book haul style. I'm going to hold up some books. The reason this is a part one is because I don't want to try to do my entire bookshelf, like take everything off my bookshelf in one haul. So I literally took off one shelf. It's the one at the bottom that you can't see. This shelf over here is my bookshelf. This shelf over here is my husband's. So I'll only be doing these books over in this area over here. But I'm going to do the very bottom shelf for today. And it's just going to be like a quick book haul style. I figured it might be more entertaining that way. And then also I wouldn't have to edit because I'm lazy like that. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm just going to show you all the books that I have on my very bottom shelf. There's lots of random stuff, but I hope you have fun with it. So let's see, where do I want to start? I've got One Beautiful Dream by Jennifer Fulwiler. This is one of the few like nonfiction books that I have that I really enjoyed, and my grandmother sent me for Mother's Day last year. It was really good. So that one's a fun one. And then I have the entire Hunger Games little trilogy. I found all these puppies at Goodwill a few years ago. Not all at the same time. I like spaced them out and found them, and they're all in great condition, and I really love these. I know I've read the first one, and the second one I actually read, and the third one I just listened to the audiobook. And I started reading those after I saw the movie. It got me into it. Really liked it. A newer addition to my library is Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. And this one is a lot of fun as well. I didn't love it as much as I was hoping I would, but it's a sci-fi classic, and I love the cover. It's so tiny. It's such a tiny book. Okay. And this one is actually a book that I've had for a little bit on my shelf, and I'm hoping to read it definitely this year, and it's actually borrowed from my dad, and that is The Outlaw Chronicles by Ted Dekker. This is like a collection of a whole bunch of Ted Dekker books in one big thick tome, so I'm hoping to get to this year, but I really love Ted Dekker's writing, so it should be a lot of fun to jump into. And then, speaking of Ted Dekker, I've got a few more here. I have The 49th Mystic by Ted Dekker, which I read last year, and I loved, and I'm really looking forward to reading the second book in this duology. Hopefully really soon as well. I think I'll probably have like a Ted Dekker themed month sometime soon. So that's that one. And then let's just do a little bit more Ted Dekker, just since we're in that Ted Dekker mood right now. I also have the Circle series, sort of. I'm missing one of the books. It's 4 books. I've got black. I love these covers. Black, red, and green. So I got 2 paperbacks and hardback. I got all these from Goodwill years ago. I think I got all these at the same time, but they didn't have the third book. I read the third book as an ebook, but it's one of my favorite series of all time. So I highly recommend this. It's so fun. I'm really, really wanting to they sell it to where like all the books are in one big thick book, and I really want that book so I can just have one big thick book instead of these, but I still love them. I think they're beautiful. I just missed the third one. Then another one, last one I have, I think, here of Ted Dekker, and that is Forbidden by Ted Dekker and Tosca Lee. And this is the first in a trilogy, and it's a really, really fun trilogy to read. It kind of is reminiscent to the Circle series that Ted Dekker read, but it's a lot of fun as well. So good. I read this one several years ago, and I only have the first book in the series. Again, a Goodwill buy. I love shopping at Goodwill for books. It's such a great place to go for books. Another Goodwill buy that I did was The Hangman's Curse and Nightmare Academy, both by Frank Peretti. These are middle grade mystery thrillers, and they are a blast to read. I read these last year, and I love them. They are so good, so fast-paced. Love, so amazing. Okay, now we can get off the Ted Dekker and Frank Peretti train. I've got Arch Enemies by Marissa Meyer. I have Renegades as well, but a friend of mine is borrowing it, as you do when you have an amazing story. You just got to loan it out to friends. So hopefully I'll be loaning this one out after Renegades comes back to me, so that hopefully whoever's reading it will actually enjoy reading the next one. But yeah, Arch Enemies, and I love these covers. It's so pretty. They're so good. And then I've got Midnight at the Electric by Jodi Lynn Anderson. This was my favorite books, 2018. It's such a great, wonderful read about family and the importance of family history, and it's beautiful. And this book gave me all the feels. So, and also the cover. I mean, look at that. Okay, let's see. So now we're going to get into a bit of random. Not that these were random already, but I've got these. I think they're pronounced Benzengast 1 and 2. These are graphic novels that my sister-in-law sent me. I'm trying to just think about how to describe these. I think it's supposed to be about this girl that's able to see spirits. Think like a Sixth Sense movie type situation where I think she like sees spirits and helps them move on, or I don't know. It's a really kind of creepy gothic style, and it's really interesting. And it was a fun read. I think I wouldn't mind reading these again. I haven't read these in several years, but they're really interesting. And I've only read the first two. I don't know how many there are, but they're really cool. They've got some really cool artwork to them. So, all right. And then after that, let's get into some creepy books. So this is The Ghost of Greylock by Dan Pawlowski. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is a Goodwill buy as well, and just sort of like a random buy that looked really cool. This was just a creepy fun book. I haven't read it in years. I don't remember a whole lot about it. I think the book takes place on like an old insane asylum or something like that. I don't know, but it was really creepy and fun. It's like a kid's book, just a quick, fun, like perfect fall Halloween kind of read. So, and I'm going to hold on to it, hoping that my daughter will like reading this kind of stuff when she gets older. But there's that. And then I've got a bunch of Mary Downing Hahn. She's one of my favorite authors from growing up, and she does like lots of like creepy kids scary stories. So I'll go through these quickly. We've got The Ghost of Crutchfield Hall, The Old Willis Place, which has a really interesting story to it. It's different. It's kind of different than the other ones she did. This is one of her more recent ones, which is Took. This one was really cool. This one wasn't as ghost story-ish, but it was still really creepy and fun. And the cover is like super creepy. I mean, it's like a baby doll hand. It's creepy looking, right? Then we've got one of my favorite ones of all time, Wait Till Helen Comes. This is the newer cover. I used to have the older one. I wish I would have kept it. I think I took it to Goodwill, but I used to have the copy that had the old school 90s kind of cover. I should have kept it, but I love this cover too. It's really cool looking. Then we've got All the Lovely Bad Ones by Mary Downing Hahn. Deep, Dark, and Dangerous by Mary Downing Hahn. And the last one, Closed for the Season. This stack of books is about to fall over. Closed for the Season by Mary Downing Hahn. This is really creepy too. I need to reread this one. I haven't read it in a long time, but it was a really good book. It reminds me of, that video game, that atmospheric video game, The Park. It reminds me so much of that. Anyways, it's good. All right, so I only have a couple more left, believe it or not. I don't know. I might grab a few other ones off the second shelf just to do it. But I also have Ella Enchanted by Gail Carson Levine. I really love this story as well. It's one of the like most original kind of like fairy tale retellings I think I read. It's the first one I read, I think. I wish I didn't have the one that has the movie copy on it because I don't really like the movie. I'm not sure why I specifically have this one. I think I just really liked the book and wanted to buy it at the time. This was the only one that was available because it was around-ish when the movie came out. But that's that one. And then I've got Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson, which I'm not a contemporary reader at all, but I found this at Goodwill very recently, and it's in fantastic condition. And I mean, it was $1. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. So I picked that up. Okay. And then I have these two books here. I've got A Study of Charlotte and The Last of August, both by Brittany Cavallero. These are both mysteries, and they're newer, middle grade, I think. I think they're middle grade, maybe YA. I don't know. But anyways, I bought these recently and I really like them. I like the paperback and the covers are so pretty. And I mean, I love reading a good mystery, so I'm looking forward to those. Then let's see, I've got Dorothy Must Die. I got this one from Goodwill as well. I just have the first book in the series. It's a 4-book series and there's like a whole bunch of extra little spin-off books or whatever. And I've read this one. I read all of them pretty much, but the rest of them I read like as ebook. So this is the only one I have a physical copy of. And it's a little bit loved. It's a little bit loved, but that's the best part about it, right? And then this one, I feel ashamed with this one because I've had it on my bookshelf for years and I still haven't read it. I'm usually really good about reading the books on my bookshelf pretty soon after I get them. And that one is Peter and the Shadow Thieves by Dave Barry and Ridley Pearson. And this is, I think, the second book in this series. There's like 5 in this series. I think it's a middle grade, like Peter Pan themed series. It's a pretty thick book. Like these are thick, but I've heard they're amazing. I still haven't read them. I have all the rest of them on ebook. I'm hoping maybe I could read this series this year because it's supposed to be so good and I haven't read it yet. I just haven't been in the mood. I'm such a mood reader. But I think I might stop there. I don't know. Well, okay, let's throw a few more in there. So I also have the Land of Stories series back here. The entire thing. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books total. These are really fun if you love middle grade and reading like fairy tale retelling type stuff. So fun. These are really fun. I also have all of the Winter Chronicles as well. I've got Cinder and Scarlet and Crest and Winter and Stars Above, which is like a backstory thing. And I have Wires and Nerve as well. I'm like totally messing this up. I really shouldn't be just like going through the rest of my shelves like this. But I've got Wires and Nerve, which is a graphic novel. It's kind of a side spin-off story to the Lunar Chronicles, which is fun. I also have Heartless by Marissa Meyer and Caraval by Stephanie Garber. And I'm excited about the final installation of the series coming out. And this one's signed too, which is cool. This is the only book I own that's signed. I just happened to find it at my local Books A Million, and it was on the clearance aisle. I'm sorry if you can hear that truck outside. There's like a loud truck driving by my house. So sorry about that. But anyways, I think, okay. And then I've got the Miss Peregrine's series. I got all of these. This first one's actually, again, from Goodwill. It was in good condition. And yeah, and then I've got the rest of them. I got Hollow City, Library of Souls, Map of Days. I even have the graphic novel of the first book. I think my sister-in-law got me this too. It's really cool. So it's kind of a nice way to refresh yourself with the first story without reading the whole thing. It's faster. But yeah, okay. So that was sort of a messy sort of tour to my bookshelf. I still have books up here that I need to show you all, and I'll do that as a part 2. And I even have a few other books at the very, very, very top, sitting on the top of my shelf, that I'll show you all as well. But that's my part 1. I'm sorry for the mess of it. I'm sorry. I hope it was still entertaining. I don't know. Let me know if any of the books I mentioned down below are ones that you've read, what you think about them, or if any of them you're like, oh, hey, I've never heard of that one. That sounds like fun. So if you have any questions about the books or whatever, just let me know. I'd be happy to answer questions. But anyways, on this side of the screen over here is my logo. If you click on that, you can subscribe to my channel and follow me on my book journey. On this side over here is going to be a suggestion for another video if you want to watch another one of my videos right now. But thank you so much for watching. You rock, and don't forget to keep reading. Bye!